All right, let's start with a very general rebuttal to put some things off the table. Look, government tells us that they have the fiat to make Israel welcome with open arms all the Palestinians of the world and grant them the right to return and give them to live in the utopia, but we don't have the fiat to make Israel accept the two-state solution by the UN, which, by the way, by decision 194, as every Palestinian will tell you, does grant their right to return to every Palestinian. This is the two-state solution, not necessarily the one-state solution, which means that the right of return happens on both sides of yes, actually, Google it, 194. All right, let's go on. Look, the thing is that we think what their fiat is like, there is no reasonable person, and no reasonable Jewish person in Israel will accept the fact that simply in one day overnight, all the Palestinians of the world could just come in and be more than 50% of the country and make all the decisions. We see today that they don't want, we see today arguments over Israeli Arabs, which only represent about 20% of the population, on what kind of rights they should have because of the argument that the state should be Jewish. So obviously, all the Jewish people of Israel will not simply just give up their the idea of the Jewish state and let all Palestinians in. We think this is ridiculous. Which means that the state will keep some kind of characteristic of its Jewish state, of a home to the Jews, Israel, and so on. Why is this problematic? Look, in the pursuit of keeping this characteristic of the Jewish state, Israel today, against the minority of Arabs, is racist. We see that systematically in politics, in the way the police behaves, in the way politicals express themselves, and in the way people act. Now imagine trying to keep the characteristic of the Jewish state with 50% Arab population. In what world do you think this can happen in a fully democratic country? In what world will you give equal rights to 50% non-Jewish citizens, maybe more, and still keep the characteristic of the Jewish state? This simply cannot happen. And if this can happen, if Israelis will go along with it, then we'll simply just go to Europe and leave all the country to the Palestinians to do whatever. Oh, we're totally good with it. I'm totally good with that if you have the fiat to do so. All right. So what we get is, as the Prime Minister ironically says, a semi-democratic state. A not actually democratic state. Obviously, we know you didn't mean that, but this is what Nadav explains to you. Now, let's get to my point. Look, at the end of the day, people want independence for the sake of independence, for the sake of symbolism, for the sake of their nationalistic dreams. How do we know this? Look, in the 20, 30, 70, who's counting, years of the state, the state has done horrible things to its own Arab Israeli citizens, like house demolishing, like killing protesters, as we have seen in the Negev, like not giving equal economic opportunities to its citizens, and so on and so on. And yet, in about 20 years, the biggest demonstration that Arabs had in this country was about what? The law of nationality, which has basically zero effect, like zero practical effect. Why is this important? This is important because it means that people don't necessarily know or understand how, like, what happens in these states and so on. They care about symbolism. They care about feeling integrated in the state. They care about, they want to be part of the state. When you ask most Arabs, what is the problem of the state? They won't give you numbers. They don't understand exactly how the state isn't fair to them. They simply say, I don't identify with a Jewish state. This is a Jewish state, and it does not represent me, and I'm not part of it, and it does not count me as part of it, and this is their problem. Which means that this problem will continue on both sides of this debate. Why is this terrible? Look, first of all, we see today a lot of Israeli Arab citizens don't vote in the Knesset. Otherwise, they would have gone a lot more Knesset members. They only have about 13 today out of 120 when they are more than 20% of the country. They don't vote because they don't believe that the system is working for them. They boycott the parliament because they don't believe that the system is working for them. They don't even go to the police when bad things happen to them because they don't believe that the police is working for them. They believe that the system and the state is against them. These are the Israeli Arabs, which in most cases don't really understand the concept, haven't really felt the terrible things of the occupation. Now let's think about people in Gaza whose homes have been bombed by the Israeli government, whose family has been killed by the Israeli government, who on the best case scenario's second cousin was imprisoned by Israel. These people definitely do not feel like they're part of the country. These people will most certainly not feel like the country is doing what it should for them. And as Nadav already explained to you, the country in fact won't be equal to them. Which means not only will they come in that set of mind in the first place, they will also, the country will actually enrich what that they think so. Yes, sir.
No, for God's sake, at this stage, what viable two-state solution does the Palestinian have, and is it actually plausible?
Yeah, okay. So look, if you have the fiat to talk about Israel simply welcoming all Palestinians, we have the fiat to say that the Trump deal will work, which means that a lot of money from Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and so on, from the Gulf countries, will be put into Palestine. And I think that even the illusion of the independent state is better for Palestinians, because once I know the state is working for me, I will be integrated in the politics. I will try to do my best to better the economy, because now it's my economy, because now I'm contributing to my own society and not to the enemy, not to the people who killed me. Because now I know I have equal opportunity, because now I know that it's not like as much as I try, there will always be glass ceilings for me because I am an Arab, because I am a Palestinian. Now I know that if I work hard enough, I can achieve good things. Note that in your case, Israelis now have all the upper hand, which means that all these Palestinians will probably be working construction, will be working fields, will have no good jobs. While in their country, they will have all the high-tech jobs, maybe not a lot of them, but some of them will be doctors, because the country needs doctors, will have better economic opportunities. We see hospitals in the West Bank very successful, because once these people try very hard, they will succeed. We agree that... Oh well, thank you.